What is going on, Benzinga Nation? Today we've got a great interview. We're talking to Brian, who's a CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals and also the founder of Boxable. Galiano is going to be joining us as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for hopping on the show.
Thank you, pal. Great to be here.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and start off with you, Brian. We've been on the show before, but for the folks who might be watching for the first time, give me a quick insight and overview of what is it that your company does.
Absolutely. And thanks again for the opportunity. Diamond Lake Minerals, ticker symbol is DLMI. I took over as CEO in August of 2023, and we have successfully created a great model and program, what I do believe is the future of public companies, bridging the gap from traditional finance to the future of digital securities in a regulated environment. Think of us like an old school GE structure, parent umbrella. Our vision and goal is industry agnostic companies as subsidiaries underneath our umbrella, and building companies traditionally, fueling these companies, opening up new markets, utilizing all access to capital and growth capital, even debt, whatever the perfect formula is. And the unique thing about us is our ability and expertise in the future of tokenization and issuing security tokens into the businesses that we build or acquire, where we can invite capital and investors in from all over the world. So we've created quite a unique model. We've got some great momentum behind us. And then from that, excited to announce our plans in Envision and real estate, which leads to the great partnership with Galiano and Boxable.
Well, let's get right to it. Tell us what Boxable is, Galiano. Give me some insight there.
Hey guys, yeah, so we're actually a factory based in Las Vegas, and our factory produces housing. So we build the house in the factory, we ship it to site, and then in just a couple days, it sets up and it's ready to move in. The first product we have is actually the casita. So that's kind of a small house, about 360 square feet. Kitchen, bathroom, bed, couch, all ready to go. And then in the future, we plan for a building system where different room modules would stack and connect to create other types of buildings like apartments or single family residences.
Now that square footage I'll get to in a second, because it reminds me of some of the hotels that I've stayed in. So it's definitely a livable space with plenty of movability there as well. Talk to me, Galiano, about how this partnership can help with the crisis that we're currently facing in the housing industry.
Yeah, so of course, everyone knows there's issues with housing not being affordable all around the country and all around the world. I believe there's over 4 million or so housing unit shortage in the US. So using the current methods, we just haven't been able to build enough housing, and it's creating a big problem. So it's really all about supply and demand. And, we think our product is a great way to rapidly deploy housing. For example, traditional real estate development kind of has two phases. One, you're going to be getting the ground ready, so building roads and foundations and bringing utilities in. And the other, you're actually going to be doing all the vertical construction of the building, actually building the house. So the cool thing about doing it in the factory is that you can kind of get those done at the same time and dramatically shorten the cycle of the building process. So of course, if we can build houses faster, there's going to be more of them, more supply, and hopefully bring down the housing price.
And I love the fact that, it's like a disruptor is how I see it, right? Folks often have the conversation of, hey, do I rent? Do I own? Now I think they've got a third option that they can take a look at, especially with the fact that it's a bit more affordable. And speaking of disruptors, Brian, tokenization, right? What are the biggest risks here? And what is it that DLMI has that others in this space may not?
The biggest risk for people that are playing in the gray area is understanding what are securities, what are not, and properly operating within a regulated framework. We always operate in that channel, in that vein. And my entire career is, even if we want to be future driven, and I'm a technologist at heart, how do we do that in a legal method? So there's a risk if people want to get involved in this, do it correctly, have the right legal, accounting, and compliance. Don't just put something out in the market and say you didn't know it. That's not the world that we live in. The biggest issue now moving forward is there's so many terms as it relates to digital assets. There's tokens, NFTs, security tokens, there's crypto. So for us, it's educating people. What do we believe is the most proven and safe method to tokenize an asset or a real asset? Well, that's a security token offering. And how do you do that? It's the same way you put any type of series round out, a pre-series round out, or any other type of security offering to the market. You follow the same rules and guidelines. So that's what we do. But now with our expertise, our tremendous trial and error understanding how do you do this in the market, it's identifying exceptional products and companies. So ideally with DLMI, we want to start and build these companies, or we want to partner with companies like Boxable and bring these to the market, create what we anticipate are beautiful new communities known as boxable villages, and find ways to bring capital into those communities so we can scale them. So how do you do that? There's traditional debt, there's bank financing, there's our own cash, and now there's the ability to tokenize the land, tokenize the units, bring them to market, and invite all kinds of people to participate in that. Whether they live there or not, they can still benefit in the upside.
Now, Galiano, we talked about affordable housing, right? And I'd love to know what type of housing are you kind of targeting? I'd love to get insight on the price point, and also, I purchase it, how long till I can live in it?
Yeah, so we do envision a building system where our company mass produces rooms. So maybe you have a kitchen, a bedroom, a living room with some different sizes, some different interior finishes. And then you connect those, stack them to build many different buildings like apartments or single families. But the product we're starting with is the casita. It's the small house. And the idea there was to actually target California, where they've legalized putting a small house in the backyard of the main house. That's become very popular. We've now got over 20% of new construction is backyard ADUs in California. So, we saw that opportunity and said, let's build a product for that, and got a lot of interest. But we've also done other projects as well. So the product is appropriate for many different use cases, including hopefully a nice little village that we can do with Brian. Basically, we're producing, X amount of housing. When people buy it, they order it as soon as this is their place in line. We're basically going to ship it out, and it kind of just sets up in a day or a couple of days, and you're good to go. So you would prepare in advance the foundation and the utilities to deploy the house on. We take it off the truck, drop it down, unfold it. And the cool thing about our product is everything is done in the factory. Kitchen, bathroom, plumbing, electric, windows, flooring, all of that's done in the factory so that we can deliver at the lowest possible cost.
Well, I'm excited to kind of check it out. I know you're out in Las Vegas. You and I connected beforehand, but I'm hoping to maybe live there, spend the night, see what that's like. Brian, final thoughts from you.
Very excited about our partnership, and always grateful for Ben Zinga's coverage on all the great work that we're doing. And we know Galiano, his team, and Boxable is the future of housing and home building. And we know DLMI is the future of what public companies are set out to do with a hybrid of traditional finance, with bridging the gap with future of digital assets and security tokens. So we can't be more happy to go out into the market announcing what we're doing now in real estate. We are so excited to bring this to our shareholders. My whole job is to protect our shareholders and create value, and I know we're going to do that here, and do that with one of the best home builders in the world, with Boxable, and understanding how to scale affordable housing and get people into their homes as quickly, as efficiently as possible.
That's the biggest thing, is making sure that it's affordable for the average man and woman here in America. But thank you both so much for hopping on with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. That is Brian, who's the CEO of Diamond Lake Minerals, and also Galiano, who's the founder of Boxable.